Hey guys, welcome to this video. Just thought I would now film one via Forex Tester. I'll put a link underneath. It's just basically a Forex simulator program that allows us to simulate markets and test methods. I've done loads of videos on price action on TradingView, lots of replay bar activity. As you'll know, I normally hedge to protect positions. That's our proprietary sort of main approach in the trading mentor. That's what we teach everyone of all levels to do. So don't forget, if you want to learn to trade for income like we have for years, we teach live on Zoom every day. Go underneath. So we're going to do this on the AUD dollar for a period of time. We've just picked 2015 onwards. I'm going to use a max size again of 0.1, and I'm going to use a minimum size of 0.01. The size, really, to be honest, it doesn't matter as long as it's not ridiculous compared to equity. You can see that's well within the limits of this equity. But the main thing is just to show you how to get through any market cycle and be much better off at the end of it. So I'm going to start this and I'm going to press play. Now, I don't really want to take anything long just yet because we don't have a massive amount of momentum off from these lows. You can see you've bounced on these lows various times. There's clearly still weakness in the market. So I'm inferring just from price action there where, really I want to look next. And I'm going to speed this up a bit. So I'm looking for momentum. I'm looking for a big push up and then the opportunity to get long on any pullbacks. Now you're coming lower. We can actually check our higher time frames. Now you'll notice I haven't loaded a lot of data here, but it's likely off the back of a fall like that, I would want to take a long. So I'm going to go 0.1 long. Okay, so maximum size there to reflect that very low price. And any significant move, really, I'm going to look to exit on. So you can see I'm leaving it on the weekly because we may as well, because I'm not going to exit unless you get something significant. If I look on the daily now, you can see we're just dipping lower. So this is going into drawdown very slightly, but because of the size, it's absolutely minuscule. Now, because of the strength and the momentum of the pull down, it might be the case that my long side exit is actually fairly early on, just at these lows until we get a real established long side movement. I would expect that to occur at some point on these lows as long side traders move in to the AUD over the dollar, perhaps in some risk on. So still teetering around, obviously no strength there, so we'll just speed this up a bit. Okay, I'll speed it up a lot more. So we're just looking for any reasonable push to some early resistance, essentially. Okay, this is still position one. As you can see, we're still going through. Still not had a massive rally yet. Still trickling down. And then a bit of momentum there. Bit of building momentum because you can see the lows are rejected slightly. Now markets are teetering around. It's a bit like it is at the moment, to be honest. They're just looking for a reason to really rally. Anything considerable to the upside, I'll look to kill this long and flip short. I don't need to hedge yet or take any protective measures because this is just position one. So we'll just let that keep running and see where we get. So still trickling. Okay, there we go. So a big momentous push, likely some sentiment has come in to spur that on. If it's sustained, you might see that as a swing long off from the lows. And probably at that point higher than these early wicks. So I'm really looking to see the extent to which that follows through. If it does, you can see at the moment there it's not. Just got a new low there. Could be, a market maker stop. Drawdown still very, very low. And of course, you could trade a much higher size, but I'm just doing this because it's easy for people to get 0.1 max and then so forth lower for, your deviation of sizes versus risk. It's an easy scale for people to get. Of course, in a diverse portfolio and depending on your equity, you would vary those measures. So it's still coming lower. Now, I'm not going to add another whole size because price action still looks a bit rough. Any push now, I think I will add. I'm just going to go for a half size. Okay, so you can see comparatively to TradingView, you know, that's kept me in the market long, whereas they would have probably amalgamated this. So still weakness there. Clearly, you're getting a lot of shorting of ORD, buying of US dollars. Okay, so still pulling down. I've spaced out these sizes reasonably. I can get long again probably in a minute. You can see my drawdown 653. Nothing terrible. So now we're getting a bit of momentum. I'm not going to start hedging yet. Only time I'm going to start hedging is when my drawdown gets much nearer to 1% of equity. Okay, now you're getting a climb. You can see dips being rejected to the upside and a push up. So I've got the choice. Do I want to take some sort of gains? Well, we've come such a long way down that I'll probably leave it and look at locking in potentially. Okay, so now momentum's coming in. I will actually put this at a no loss, I think. So stop loss is going to need to be just above where we are. So it's going to be 71.4, let's say. Oh, no, I mean 0.71. Getting all kinds of decimal places now. 0.714. There you go. That doesn't like that. I think you probably with this have to, yeah, you can do it with a pen. There you go. So I'll put it slightly above. And I can obviously move it as we go. So it looks like I'm going to be out of it. There you go. So I'm out of it. Now I wouldn't mind rebuying. Okay. But I am going to change the size just slightly. That's why I locked in. Okay. So I made $10. Anything under the low I'm willing to add. Still no considerable drawdown. You know, I don't intend to hedge just yet. So market's still trying to push. There you go. Bit of strength, more. So now you're getting some kind of momentum to take you to level of resistance there. You can see that across the board. So now I've got the option to close that for gains, and I can scale into the short side ever so slightly. Remember, we're at some extreme lows now. So this is more just a protective measure. That entry being 1/5. Okay, I can close that. I can then rebuy on that tiny dip within the momentum. Size is small because you've hardly had a pullback, but there is a lot of momentum anyway, so you would expect to push like that. Okay, I can close that. So now we're picking up gains, and now I can take a very light short. There you go. So you can see that my shorts are proportional to the risk. Now I'm actually going to close that because just like before, it looks like the momentum is there and it looks like the pullback is not going to be considerable. I will actually not add just because we're very close to my 0.1. But you can see the push down. I can add on this. Again, I'm not going to add too much because the distance to my my other entry is fairly close. I can see early rejection on this, so I'm going to close that. I'm going to swap short, and I'm going to resume. So that short's now out of the money. Okay. And it doesn't look like it's going to stay too low, so I will kill it if I can. Okay, I don't want to be in it because the market looks somewhat supported. The support isn't overwhelming, so I'm going to take a light 5th size. and we're up slightly, so I'm going to kill it. Light short for a hedge of my full loss position, so I'm already controlling the loss, and I'm building the profits up so that my true drawdown is much less than the actual drawdown. You can see I'm down this much, but I've taken gains. Okay, so now I'm going to add another light long. Again, the market doesn't look amazing, but there is a little bit of support there. Now you're getting pushed and pushed. Got the chance to add again, perhaps on a real push of the lows, but I'm not going to add massively if we do. Otherwise, I just want to see it higher. Okay, so almost there. We're now there, still with a little bit of strength. So you can see the uptrend that we got is very tentative. Okay, slightly higher highs and lows, and then it just gets really ripped into. So market's obviously still subdued here, still got that dollar strength. Take another light. Okay, so my longs, very small at this point. I'm going to kill that off for $22. I'm going to leave the other one on because there's somewhat momentum here. Okay, and you can see, obviously, it's much easier to sustain the drawdown at position 1 because I'm always taking gains on the, on both sides, essentially. So looks like that's going to go up a bit. Now, it does look like it's got a bit of momentum there. Bit of a dip back, push up to the local highs, perhaps. Okay, so it doesn't look very nice. I'm going to close it. I'm going to protect again with just a fifth of my original. Okay, so we're really just dealing with the initial loss. Again, doesn't look very nice. South, so close. Long. Again, because there's slight long side momentum. I know these gains are very small, but you have to understand that I'm taking quite a lot of them, so they add up. So now we're pushing much further back to our 0.1. Not willing to add either way at the moment. Forceful push down, I'm going to kill. And then I'm going to swap long. Okay, big pop up there, close. Short. Okay, close. And you'll see almost, quite soon we're only less than $80 off overall drawdown on entry 1. This has a bit of support and a bit of momentum. You'll notice my size is, like I said, very, very small because I'm not willing to put a lot on the table. All I want to do is really just bulk up my equity so I can, or my balance overall, but my equity is clearly the full factor, just so I can lessen the blow of the drawdown on the previous entry. So I still close nothing for a loss. I'm purely just using price action with very small sizes. Of course, having small sizes as well is going to cater for the chance of me being wrong. Okay, so if I'm wrong with small sizes, it doesn't really matter because the drawdown is going to be minuscule. And of course, the sizes in comparison to my equity are great. If you want full trading plans for a diverse portfolio that you can generate income off, when traded safely, then like I said, go underneath. But so far, no losses. 23 trades, I think. Equity still just in the minus, teetering into the plus now. So we've sustained this position with no really drastic risk measures. Kill that for gains. And we've gone nowhere near our 1% max drawdown. Close that again. So the reason why, you can't use 0.1s on every entry is because not every entry has the value that warrants a trade of that size. Now you can see an arrangement that is fairly flat. I'm going to add again. This time I'm just going to put it to 0.3. You can see the spacing now. So I've got half a max size and then a whole max size within sort of 460, 70 pips, which is decent enough. Because I don't want to over leverage too much, I'm going to close one. I'm looking for momentum to the upside. I'll add at the lows. Okay, gains there. Good if I could right click it. Decent push. I don't need to hedge still, but I might in a minute if we get a bit uncomfortable. Okay, I'm not really willing to add long just yet. And if I do again, okay. So if I add long again, there's a good chance it's not going to be long till I get near my max drawdown. Now, the reason why that's happened is because my first entry was so large. Typically, I would have split it up over time, but because price was historically very low to begin with, I didn't do that. Okay. So normally, you would get more positions in the market over time if we hadn't started so low down. So I can start to look perhaps at scaling into minor hedges just in case you fall from here. And I want to protect. We're operating on a relatively tight regime here. I mean, for many, even with 100k equity on a diverse portfolio, you probably wouldn't trade. Let's say you had 10 assets, you probably would move your max drawdown a little bit. But like I said, it's just so everyone can see, obviously, what's going on and keep a very simple risk scale to understand. So momentum gaining a little bit on here. Not too interested in adding long just yet. But what I will do is I'll take the first loss and I will actually add here. So 25 trades or so we didn't lose. Okay, now the momentum comes. So I can close this and I can close that, or I could look at the 5 minute. Yeah, I could lock in gains. Where have we gone? No, I'll tell you what, we won't. We'll leave it. And you can see the momentum was there. So on a larger dip, I'm going to add again. Real drawdown, you would factor in the gains, which are $286. Drawdown still less than 0.5%. I'm going to get rid of this other long because markets look weak. I'm going to add short. If we get under this, I'm going to close that, another $10. Again, doesn't seem a lot, but you take a lot of those trades and it adds up over time. $300 closed now. Still see momentum sustained somewhat. Looking for a big burst to the upside because prices aren't falling. There you go. Bit of momentum there. So now we're in net gains. Gains taken exceed the drawdown of the initial high alongside entry. I'm going to take a long there. And still momentum, so I'm holding. Another push to another local high and I'll kill it. Like that. There you go, out. Really want to take it short because it looks like you're going to trash this with momentum. And here you go. Up, 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 up. And I've got a choice. Do I want to close or hold? I think I'll hold because you haven't had a significant rally for a long time. And you can see momentum coming in. You are coming to early resistance. Anything above that and I'm out. There you go. So on that cycle, if you like, 371 net. We never went over max drawdown, or actually, to be honest, very close to it. Okay, so That's good. I'm going to start taking light shorts on pushes. Go. Any dips, serious dips, I'm going to get long. I don't want to take it at the size we had before. This resistance is really getting pushed into a lot. So that rejection is weak. I'm going to kill it off. Good pullback to early support, and I'm long like that. I'm going to take it long with about a 0.04, just under half size because you're fairly high up still, but there is a lot of momentum. There you go, big push. So now we can look where the key resistance is. So we're at key resistance, but we're hitting into it, hitting into it, hitting into it. On a long-term swing scale on the monthly, you're well down, well down. So this is overdue a larger push, which you're now seeing fall through. Okay, I've got the chance now to lock in gains. See if this works okay. There you go. Just on those wicks. There you go. Let's play. I can move my stop as price goes. Now we're dipping back a bit. I'm just going to kill it. Another $73. Big dip back and I'm going to get long. And I don't like this short now because there's really, you're just waiting for something to, or perhaps resistance will not come through as it should. I'm going to keep this at 0.2. Again, long side momentum, but we haven't gone very far to the downside, so I can always add later. Okay, I'm out of that. And now I wouldn't be shocked if you get a larger push. So I'm going to look for key long-term resistance. Doesn't look like current levels are that strong, so I'm not going to short yet. I'm only going to buy on dips, large dips. Okay, I will take a tiny size on a small dip. Because like I said, the momentum is still there, so it's very rampant. I'm going to add again for a total 0.04. That's going to get me a little bit, but it is now lagging. You can see weakness on the push, so I can then take a short. Okay. Okay, so I can close that for gains. Still only closed one trade in loss on this whole thing. Long there. Nice push, exit. Now, you can still see momentum sustained, so if we beat this high, it wouldn't shock me. Or we at least get around there. Yeah, I'm going to kill it. I don't want to be in. Don't want to short because, again, it looks very buoyant. Any significant push higher, and I'll short at key long-term resistance. There. Okay, so a little pip above highs. I'm going to start to accumulate shorts. Half size because you've had a good rally now. Won't add for a little bit. And this is what I meant at the start when I said we started at 0.1. I've always got the chance to add more. So this looks buoyant again. Pullback, not doing a lot. So I'm out and I'm just going to add very small because I wouldn't be shocked if we get a further pullback potentially. I don't really care if I miss the short, but I just don't want drawdown in a risk-averse trading scenario or format, which is mostly how I trade. Okay, good dip back here. Take 4/10 of a max. See what we get on some rejection. So a bit of a push up, but you can see a tiny bit of rejection there. I'm going to take a 0.4 short because of that rejection and the candle before it. Not too keen on it. Still not too keen. No. Oh, there you go. I want to be out of that. I'm actually going to drop my long size because price action is getting a bit more misty. And I can always add again, which I will now. I'll add a 0.3, so I've got half size. Any considerable pullback more, I can add another half for a whole. $550 banked. So now I can add, in fact, I'll only add 0.03. I won't go max because it's fairly flat now. Your pullback gives you a flat market outlook. Anything back to your highs and we can kill for gains. Doesn't look terribly strong on long side momentum. Drawdown now coming 160, 550 taken in gains. So still well in the profit cycle. Okay, still flat. Can also add another. I can finish off the max size. And the reason why it's 0.2, even though you've fallen so far, is because of the price action setup. It's very flat, you see. You had a lot of long side momentum, but now you're getting flat momentum. So I probably won't add unless you get right under the lows, I would say. Drawdown sits at $200. 0.2, well off the 1% max. On a fall that far is fine, especially with the gains taken. Push up there, I can just get rid of the earliest one. I really need to hedge, but I can slip something light in because the market looks subdued. Okay, so I missed the pause button. Anything higher, okay, I'm going to kill that. Now again, so I can just in case to protect those other orders, I can have a short. If we don't get anything on it, that's fine, but we do. Tiny gains there. And once we've finished that, we'll be straight back in. You can see the drawdown again, nothing dangerous. It never is with us. You have to organize your portfolio, your sizes and your equity continuously, or you will struggle. Market looks a bit supported, bit of momentum coming in, perhaps continuing the move to the upside for the New Zealand dollar against the US dollar. Okay, so I probably want to just be out of that. And then on a push up, we'll kill that. There you go. So one loss, I think, $593 taken, no drawdown, nowhere near max drawdown. If you want to learn to hedge for income, you can replicate this across a diverse portfolio to make continuous gains. If you have any questions, let me know. See you in the next one.